it'll just turn your damn air conditioner up and you'll be boiling and sweating and like, what the heck? I don't even know how it saves us money because I just go and turn the air conditioner back down. So I don't even know how it does save us money, but at any rate, our air conditioner is cheap. Our air conditioning bill is cheaper, so it's not really stupid, but it feels stupid when I'm sweating. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Las Vegas. You guys, it's hot as hell here. It's like ridiculous. So you can't be living here without air conditioning. I mean, it's to the point like if you try not to have air conditioning here, this is how bad it is. If your air conditioner breaks, you got to go to a hotel. That's what has to happen. You can't even be in your house for like 2 hours because you'll die. That's how hot it gets in your house. It's crazy. Because I have had my air conditioner break, and if they can't get there right away, and they can't get to you till the next day, you're going to have to sit in your hot house. Well, you can't. And I've had to go to a hotel. Thank God I'm in Vegas. Nice. You can stay at a pretty nice hotel just down the street. So, but still, you didn't plan on spending $100 or $120 at night on a damn hotel. But believe me, you will do it if you live here in Vegas and your air conditioner goes out. You can't even stay in your house. It's crazy. Okay. All right. I have a little piece of paper on the side over here. You guys want to see that Rodney guy I was talking about? I'll show you Rodney. You guys have to see. This is Rodney. He's on my iPad right now. I can just put it down. This is Rodney. The guy I like to watch his show. This is him. He is so funny. Oh my God. And there he is right there. Dude is hilarious. And the one I was watching right now is called Basketball Wives Season 8, Episode 1. So he likes to talk about, you know, he's critiquing. It's hilarious. Okay. All right. So, okay. And now what I want to do is I want to do some drips. Do I even need to do any drips? You know what, you guys? I'm not doing drips. I was going to do drips, but you know what? It'll be too much. We already got enough because when I did those edges and stuff, that just really did it nice. And I got the coffee stains. We're not going to do drips. I was going to do them, but you know what? We don't need to go there. So we're not. I just don't think it's needed. And I don't think it'll make it look better. I think it'll make it not look as good. All right. So now we are going on to focal points. Okay. So our first one here, what did I have this one for? Let me just see something really quick. My fingers. I think this one is the one that I want this to go on to. Yeah. Okay. So I took some magazine bits and I've already made a little arrangement. Let me kind of see how I arranged everything. Something like this. And I love using magazine bits. Okay, so that's a bit there. I put the rose there. I put this little jewelry bit right there. And this watch face right in the middle of that. I think that looks really cool. And then I have Simply Paris. Because I thought this all looked very, very, like, just Paris. Just look Simply Paris. That white rose just reminds me of Paris. Okay. This looks very Chanel to me. I should type up Chanel and on one of these in fancy writing. You know how I make up those sheets that have the sayings? That's where I cut this off of. I was talking about it the other day. I showed you guys. And I should write one that says Chanel and do it in this fancy writing. Okay, I will. Just for like cutting out and being able to do stuff like this. Okay, I just want to just come in as close as I can. Okay, there we go. All right, so. All right, so let's just go ahead and start gluing all this down. And because I want to be able to finish these tags up in this video, I don't have gluing. I don't have time for things to dry, so I'll be gluing them onto a magazine. Using a magazine as my glue surface, and then when I'm done, I can turn it over. So I know I get repetitive sometimes when I talk about things, you guys, but I always say this, you know what? There's always somebody in your channel that's the first time they ever seen your channel, or maybe heard about what you're talking about. So I just think never stop explaining things, because you never know, somebody new on your channel hasn't heard what you have to say. And I can't tell you how many times I've been watching somebody and they said something and I really didn't hit my brain until the 4th or 5th time they said it. So that happens too. Or to remind me of the idea that I'm like, oh yeah, she said that last time, or she said that quite a few times and I've been wanting to do that or buy that. So there you go. Oh, I need to get a baby wipe out. Oh, my fingers feel like they're about to cramp up. You know what? I do a lot of stuff with my hands. You know, I like to do work like this. I like to draw. I knit. I like to spin art yarn. I do a lot of stuff, so I think my fingers just sometimes get tired. They just get tired. They're like, girl, you need to like calm down with the crafts. Okay. It's my fingers talking to me. Oh, we're gonna go like that with the rose. All right. Oh, and I'm using, especially on magazine pieces, like really nice magazines. Cheaper magazines, you can get away with just using decoupage. But if you're cutting out of magazines that have a little bit of thickness or cardstock, I'll use the Aleene's Tacky. Then they will tack down a lot easier. Especially too, because magazine pieces, well, if it's a thinner magazine piece, don't even worry about it. It'll tack right down with your regular Mod Podge or homemade Mod Podge. Oh, let me talk about that while I'm tacking all this down. People have been asking me how to make my homemade Mod Podge, and I say it, but I don't say it in every video. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that, if I can remember, I'm going to put that down in all my information below that I just always cut and paste on below each video. You know, right next to like my Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So that people always have the recipe for my homemade Mod Podge. So what it is I make it at about 2 cups at a time. Find a container that's around 2 cups. So you can just make it in there and store it. And so I put about 2 cups of Elmer's glue. It doesn't have to be Elmer's. It can be any glue. You can go to the dollar store and get their glue. It don't matter. Just white school glue. And about 2 cups. Then add a little water just to thin it out a little bit. Don't make it super watery, of course, but just to thin it out a little bit so it's nice and workable. Then I take about, in 2 cups, I probably put about 7 or 8 squirts of clear acrylic matte spray. This is Treehouse Studio, $5.99. Use a coupon. I get it at Hobby Lobby. But you can just get whatever flat acrylic spray paint there is, like at Walmart also. Or wherever, and do about 7 or 8 squirts of that. What it does is it makes it so that it's like more of like a matte medium or a flat Mod Podge. So it makes the surface paintable. It gives some tooth to the surface because it makes it dry more flat, not all shiny. So that's how I make my homemade Mod Podge. So, and how much cheaper is that than to buy matte medium? Matte medium's crazy. Even Mod Podge, I mean, it's not expensive, but it's not super cheap either, especially if you're always doing mixed media. But you can buy a gallon for $15 of school glue at any of these craft stores. So, and I tried to use, it was Michael's. They said it's an everyday price. I didn't know that they're everyday prices. You can't use coupons, so that's another thing there. But I think you can use a coupon on the school glue at Hobby Lobby, because I'm like, I know I used a coupon somewhere, so I paid like $7 for a gallon of glue. So I think it was Hobby Lobby, but I know it's not Michael's because I went up there and they go, oh, that's an everyday low price, so you can't use a coupon on that. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I'm not. Oh, and I said, okay, I'm not buying it then. I said, because I can use this coupon somewhere. Okay, so we're gonna put that watch on top of that. I told you guys I'm cheap. I do this mixed media every single day, so I like to get good deals on my stuff. I like to get good deals on everything. It's not even just mixed media. It's everything I do. I was taught that when I was little. Get a good deal. So, it's in my blood to get good deals. First thing I do at a store when my husband says, oh, I like this or I like that, or, you know, or I even say I like that, I'm like, oh, the first thing I do is, what's the price? I ask my husband, how much it costs? I don't know. I'm getting it. I'm like, you don't even know the price? No, I don't care. I'm getting it. Like, oh my God. Okay. But, you know, he works hard, so there ain't nothing I could say. He works real hard, so he deserves to get whatever he wants. Okay. So we're going to put Simply Paris right here at the bottom. I mean, not anything he wants, but, you know, in reason. And he's so good about it too. He doesn't even fret when I go spend, you know, when there's like when I spent all that money on that yarn. You guys watch my yarn video. What was it? Hobby Lobby had their yarn, $1 a skein. And we're talking yarn that was $6 and $7 or $8 or $10 a skein for $1. And I went and bought probably $100 worth of yarn. Not all at one time, but over a matter of like 3 days. I probably spent I might have spent 150 bucks. I don't know. But he didn't even get mad. He was like, you know what? He goes, you take advantage of that yarn sale because that's ridiculous. Get all you can get at that price. So he's cool. He's very cool. Very, very sweet husband. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Doesn't that look fabulous? Who would think magazine bits could look so good? And then we're going to shade them up too with our watercolor pencil and our watercolor pencil and our water soluble crayons. Okay, so that one's done. Let's go to the next one. And you know what? Let's just do, we're just going to do 2 more, and then I'll do the last one off camera. And the reason I'm saying that is because I don't want to run out of time because we got to finish up this video. Okay. There's a lot of pieces on this one. Not a lot, but enough. So just a second, let me figure this out. I think this is what I did. Look at me with the layers. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Okay. Now, if all you have is school glue or your decoupage, use that. I mean, it's still going to stick. It's just that you have to work it a little bit more for it to stick down. You know, just a little bit more. I just think if you have the Eileen's Tacky, you know what? You can also get this Eileen's Tacky for $1. This exact size at Dollar Tree. So, since I'm always at the DT, not as much as I used to be, but I'm there enough that I always try to pick some up when I'm there. Pick up a couple bottles just so I have them on hand. I have them in stock, and that's a good price. So, all right, in the middle of that rose, we're gonna put this here. I don't know what the hell that is, but I love it. It might be a doorbell. I'm not really sure. And this is the thing, before I got on this video, I call it auditioning. I was auditioning all kinds of magazine bits and collaging them together. So it's a little process to kind of sit there and, you know, put your combinations of collage bits together. But to me, it's fun. I love doing it. I love the whole thing with collage. I love cutting out the pieces out of magazines. Just sitting there one night with my husband in front of the TV. Rip. And just ripping pages out of the magazines. And then if I don't have time, kind of organize them into like, into categories. Like this is all my jewelry bits. This is all, you know, my watch faces or whatever. And then be able to put them in my bins. And if I don't have time to cut them out, I'll just at least rip or cut around, just cut around like a square or circle, so I have that bit, you know what I'm saying? But I don't need the whole magazine piece, so that I can store them in my bins that I have. So now I do have to say, oh, you know what, I messed up. I meant to put that there. Does that look, well, you know what, that's the way that's gonna go regardless. You know what? It still looks good. Okay. Oh, well, I meant to do it the other way around, but that's not the way that's happening. There's one thing about that Aleene's Tacky. Once you, like, kind of cement it down, it's not coming back up. For the most part, it's not coming back up. Okay, let me get some glue on the back of this. Okay. See if I like it like down like that. Okay. I kind of take a baby wipe and just go around it real quick for any glue seepage. And then take a dry one, just kind of dry it off, and also kind of rub it down to make sure everything is glued on good. And then I'm going to take these scissors. Aren't these cool? I took the time to cut those out. I actually can't believe I took the time to cut those out. But I'm going to put those scissors. I was going to do it like this because, but now, I don't know. Oh, that looks cool. Just doing the scissors right on top like this. That's what I'm going to do right there. Okay. It's funny how things change when you start to gluing things down, because that wasn't my plan, but it's my plan now. Cool. Love it. And that's another thing. If everything doesn't go how you planned it, don't worry about it. It's mixed media, you know? Don't stress it. Accept it and move on. You're doing this to have fun. And then it says, dream until dreams come true. Where did I get these sayings? Remember I told you I typed these out in a really fancy print on my printer, on my computer.